Welcome, everyone, to the Energy Advisors Podcast. I'm your host, Rex, that Energy Guy. Glad to have you with us today. Today's episode is on some statistics from the top 5 states and what's going on in solar in the top 5 states in the United States. So, pretty good stuff, interesting statistics, and some interesting trends, even in the face of high interest rates. But before we go there, I want to mention, life's busy. We don't have time to always follow every episode on any podcast we're listening to or watching. So I want to point out, if you missed episode number 51, it's an interesting introduction into the breakthroughs that are happening with solar thermochemical energy generation and what's happening there with sulfur and sulfuric acid. So it's kind of a loop. Interesting topic. You'll want to follow this one because it's going to make an impact. Okay, before we get on to today's topic about those top 5 states, we always want to thank our partners in the show, our good friends over at Valor Roof and Solar. If you want to do solar, rooftop solar, I can't recommend anyone more. They are based on integrity in every step. So through the education process, the implementation and maintenance, Valor does the job right. They currently are serving Colorado, Utah, Idaho, Nevada, and Arizona. So if you're interested in those folks that live in those states, we'll get you connected. Our second partner in the show is our friends over at Universal Wind Kinetics. Wind power is coming on the scene, especially for what I call retail. So small business and residential wind. It's highly efficient, major technology jumps there. So we'll get you in touch with them. And our new partner in the show, our good friends at Solar for America. Solar for America actually manufactures their panels in the United States, and that's exciting. So any of these partners, just go to energyadvisors.today, fill out the form, and we will connect you with them. Okay. So today I wanted to go over some interesting statistics about the state of the industry. Now, I've talked about this a little bit. This article came across my desk from the Solar Energy Industries Association, and they brought out some interesting statistics. Now, overall, despite inflation, there was a record-shattering year in 2023. In fact, more solar was installed in 2023 than existed up to this date. So for the first time in history, solar accounted for over half of all the new electricity capacity added to the grid. So nearly 800,000 homes installed new solar systems or solar plus storage. So that's exciting. Some of the drivers on that are the Inflation Reduction Act, or IRA, and some of the impacts there. Still impactful in 37 states is net metering, and there's some interesting things that are happening. Okay, so let's talk about the top 5. All right, so our friends in Ohio coming in at number 5, and this is the first time in 10 years that Ohio has cracked again the top 10. There was 1.3 gigawatts added in new capacity in 2023, which brings the state total to 2.3 gigawatts. So more than half of the capacity was added in 2023. In Ohio, in 2023, they state that there were 7,400 jobs, and that's enough power in Ohio now to run the needs of over 298,000 homes, so just under 300,000 homes. So that's exciting. Great to see the jump, a whopping jump of capacity installed, more than 100%, actually 1,200% of power installed. Now, Ohio has some large utility scale investments that are driving growth, and we're going to see them stay pretty much in the rankings for quite some time because they're doing quite a bit in Ohio. All right, number 4, Colorado, my home state, and that's where our show emanates. Colorado came in 4th in the United States in 2023. Solar add was 1.6 gigawatts, which actually brought the state total to 4.1 gigawatts. Boy, my numbers are crazy today. The number of solar jobs, a little over 7,600, and Colorado now has the capacity to power 838,000 homes. And so that's pretty exciting statistics in Colorado. Colorado is going to make some more jumps here because in 2023, laws went into effect for solar ready. And so these were local laws that were passed by the state legislature. And so any new buildings have to be pre-wired for solar, and any multi-tenant units have to be pre-wired for solar and EVs. So that's exciting. The market is going to be home in Colorado to the world's largest solar-powered steel plant. So that's happening down in Pueblo. All right. State of Florida coming in at third. Now, this is the fifth straight year that Florida has come in third place. Now, this is a huge jump in Florida. So in 2023, Florida added 3.2 gigawatts of power, which brought the state total to 3.9 gigawatts. So let that sink in. Of the 3.9 gigawatts, 3.2 was added in 2023. One of the things that's driving not only the savings in power bills in Florida, but its preservation of people's independence because of hurricanes. So if the network goes down, the grid goes down during a big storm, people are okay because they've got their own power generation systems. The state saw over 50,000 residents install new solar on their homes. And this is a crazy number. Nearly half of of Florida's 220,000 residential solar systems have been installed in the last 2 years. So it's really growing down in Florida, the Sunshine State. Okay, number 2 coming in, even though it's the largest install base, is the state of California. And actually, the growth in California is a little surprising because of the situation with net metering 3.0. That's where the California Public Utilities Commission gutted the solar industry, in my opinion, where the amount that is paid the consumer now to their home was cut by 75%. So in 2023, California added 6.2 gigawatts of total power, which brought the state to 46.9, which is more than double the next install base, because California has been doing this for a while. They've been a leader, but the net metering and combined with inflation really gutted that. 2024 does not look promising for California because of interest rates and net metering. It's going to be a tough go in California. The only bright spot is that more and more storage is being installed, so people have their own power because the power companies are not paying very much to put it back on the grid. And the new champion, wow, you're going to guess on this one, the state of Texas, the Lone Star State. Edging out California, who had the 6.2 gigawatts, Texas came in at 6.5 gigawatts. So the total solar capacity installed in Texas is 22.9 gigawatts. So quite a bit of power down in the Lone Star State, 11,000 jobs, and enough solar to power 2.6 million households. So again, across the country, we're seeing quite a bit of adoption. But what's surprising, and again, this is sort of a false narrative, but I want to make sure people think this through for a minute. When you look at the adoption of renewable energies, solar, wind, etc., you're always thinking about possibly people in more progressive states. So like California, they've been doing this for a long time. Perhaps Colorado, perhaps Illinois, perhaps New York. Well, if you look at the top 5 states, 3 of them are actually what would be considered red-leaning states, so more conservative. Texas, Florida, and Ohio. So I like this. And again, I'm making light of this a little bit and making things a little more simplified, but I think it's great that people all over the country are jumping into renewables, and they are doing it for a lot of drivers is financial. And then the other thing is, another driver is independence. So I thought I'd share these stats with you today because it's interesting to see, we know that there's been record growth, but these interesting pockets around the country. and you're going to see additional policy changes that will drive this. And we hope for 2024 that the interest rates come down, because interest rates are not solar's best friends, because that makes the loans more expensive and then prohibits adoption, because it's just a little more expensive, a little more out of reach for certain segments of the industry. So until next time, we got more Sparks coming up. Always looking for something new to share with you. You need to pay attention to energy. It's a very important topic, and that's why we do the show. So until next time, as I say and always say, thanks and make it a great day.